subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.
What it do? It's your boy Chingo Bling, the Tamale Kingpin, the Ghetto Vaquero, the Versace Mariachi. Right now, you tuning in to the hottest podcast on them streets, Donnie Houston Podcast. Por favor, believe it. Sas.
Yeah, man, it's going down. This Donnie Houston Podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. We got a real legend in the house today, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've always found this dude to be just hella interesting. You know what I'm saying? Outside of just being just a dope MC, you know, he's a stand-up comedian. You know what I mean? He's got all kind of stuff going on, man. And he got them tamales. Well, I don't know if he still got them tamales. You know what I'm saying? But hey, Chingo Bling, what's going on?
What's the Tamale Kingpin? Always a Tamale Kingpin. It's your boy Chingo Bling, the Ghetto Vaquero, the Masa Messiah, El Rey de Foreplay, the Versace Mariachi. It's a couple other ones, man. But hey, man, Donnie coming in hot, man. Donnie got some controversy going on online right now.
Oh, because we were talking about listen, okay, so this is the conversation. We're talking about what's the greatest album from a Houston artist. That was the question. Somebody asked me, can you include UGK? Now, for a long time, I didn't include UGK in these conversations for a few reasons. Normally because if you're talking about top 5 and you include UGK, one of your slots already gone, maybe 2. You know what I'm saying? But also because to give them respect for representing where they from. But the truth is this, man. They came out on Big Time Records, Houston label. The most critically acclaimed album is a direct reflection of Houston culture, Riding Dirty. You know what I'm saying? Bun and Pimp have represented Houston culture in the H just as well and as long as just as any other person that was actually born here. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
and if you say, for somebody to tell me that Riding Dirty isn't a Houston album, then you got to say Get Throwed ain't a Houston song, Knocking Doors Down ain't a Houston song, all these other, and that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, see, what it is, bro, is like, sometimes, man, people on the internet, like, I get caught up in it too, man. I be on there, like, wanting to argue with people and pressing refresh, you know. But, like, what I was saying is, if they're trying to get technical and say that all of UGK's catalog cannot be included in any Houston hip-hop conversation, well, if that's the case, you can't have Jeezy or Gucci Mane in that Atlanta conversation because they weren't born there and, you know, weren't from there and moved there later in age or whatever. So, you know.
Definitely. So, okay, what's the greatest Houston rap album of all time?
We just gonna go with Riding Dirty, Big Dog.
Ha!
You know what I'm saying? Put it out there like that. You know what I'm talking about? I got my little Trill tattoo too. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
got the little ink on me.
Shit, yeah. Well, yeah, man. Chingo Bling, what's going down, man?
Hey, man, it's good to be here, bro. I done binged all your episodes. It's so much good games, such good conversations, and you like the H-Town Joe Rogan, bro.
Oh man, appreciate it. Shout out to Joe Rogan.
He's like, I don't know how to feel about that, but hey,
whatever, you know. Joe Rogan getting a lot of money with this podcast, though.
Hell yeah, I'm trying to do it, man.
Man, for sure. But dog, what you doing? You got comedy, music, like what's the focus these days? What is the thing that takes precedence over everything these days?
Oh man, yeah, that's a good question because we juggle so much. Our podcast as well. I got multiple podcasts. I even got one with my wife. You know, we just podcasting galore. Stand-up comedy, man. I've been touring heavy and stand-up, doing a lot of projects in that lane. I think like by 8 years now. 8 years doing stand-up, and we're gonna be at the House of Blues in the main room, slanging these jokes. Come get these laughs. June 16th, H-Town. So yeah, rumor has it Donnie Houston gonna be in the building.
I would definitely be there. Because people don't really know this about me. I don't know if I've ever said this on the show, but like I used to do stand-up comedy. And
what?
I still write. Yeah, bro. Like
what?
Just as much as I can tell you about any music, beyond just Texas, any music, I can tell you about comedy too. I grew up, just as much as I was watching Video Soul, I was watching Comic View.
Oh man, that's what I came up.
Jam, you know what I'm saying?
I came up
Eddie
off
Murphy,
that.
Delirious, Raw, like the Robin Harris, Bebe's Kids. Not the movie, the stand-up. The tape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
this is the shit. So, comedy junkie, bro. I've
those are like a lot of my big inspirations. So, like getting to open up for Earthquake.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Like
in El Paso, I opened up for Earthquake, man. And it's like I'm coming off stage and he's right there shaking my hand. And, you know, you just
and this is Earthquake.
Yeah, like super heavy hitter. Like still underestimated too, because sometimes his name doesn't get brought up in some where it should. But everything you just mentioned, man, from like Comic View, Def Comedy Jam, especially Eddie Murphy, you know, of course, Cat Williams, you know, later.
Raw or Delirious?
Here we go. Some of them jokes get mixed in my head, like which special was it from? They kind of, man, I might have to go with Raw. They both good, man, but like honestly in my head, man, it's just so fuzzy. It's either like purple suit, red suit, but they came out around the same time, and I was just so young that I see this dude hopping out of helicopters, telling jokes, and I see like my sister Pat, she's 10 years older than me, so it was like her and her teenage friends like just cracking up watching this dude, and I'm like hiding behind the couch like listening because I'm itty bitty.
You ain't supposed to be hearing.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to be hearing all that filth, flaunt, filth. And I'm like, yo, I want to do what he does. So that was like my first.
So the comedy bug came before the music bug.
Yeah, around the same time. And again, my sister Pat, like again, she's 10 years older. So when she was in high school at Milby High, all her friends and stuff, they busting out cardboard and like this DJ crews, and she had like cassettes of like whether it was like Beastie Boys, LL Cool J, just whatever was popping at the time, and you're kind of getting both. But yeah, I can probably say like the comedy bug kind of bit me first, and even when I got in the rap game, I approached it from a comedic standpoint because I didn't want nobody trying to like, oh, this dude, he ain't no gangster, or he ain't shot all these people or whatever. So like when I was first getting in the rap game, I definitely wanted to take a totally different approach because at the time, all the posters at the time, like everybody was mean mugging, everybody was trying to be the biggest thug, biggest gangster, biggest dope dealer. So I was like, all right, how can I spoof this and spin this and kind of like flip it in a cool way?
It's crazy you said that because I remember seeing you in that 2004, 5, 6 in that era. You know what I'm saying, with the boots and the cowboy hat and shades and chain. And like the music was dope, but like that shit would make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like the fucking specifically, what's the one where you jumping over the fucking gate?
That was probably They Can't Deport Us All.
Oh my god! The first time I saw that, I was like, "Yo, this shit is hilarious." Just the look, the name of it, They Can't Deport Us All, and then there's a visual of you jumping over. That shit is funny as fuck, bro. Because I grew up in the Clark. I grew up around Mexico. My next door neighbor, my people across the street. You know what I'm saying? Like
Clark,
I understand all that shit, so I knew like it's funny, but this real shit though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then the interesting thing about that is like that particular album had major distribution under Warner Music, under Asylum, at the time when they had just signed Boosie, Webby, Trill Entertainment. They was working with Swisher House, you know, shout out to G-Dash and everybody. And so it was like serious business, but trying to clown everything at the same time. So behind the scenes, stuff was serious and stressful because you're trying to like figure out these major label contracts and you want to stay independent, but they pressuring you so much. You having so many meetings, and everybody was like Houston had this spotlight. So I was always blessed and lucky enough to be included in such big moments like the Source magazine shoot at Jay Prince's ranch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? 1,000 acres in the middle of Texas. I
that shit for you to sign it. I still got my copy, bro.
Hell yeah, I got you. You know, Jay Prince's ranch, and we were like at that house getting ready to ride off to that part of the property, 1,000 acres, and I'm like, yo, this is like Jay Prince rap a lot, and he's coming around the corner, putting on his mink, and he's like, Chingo Bling, and I'm just like, man, Jay Prince know who I am, dog. You know what I mean? So it's all been a dream. It's been like a super fun journey. You know, I started doing college radio in San Antonio. I graduated 2001. So around Trinity University in San Antonio.
I'm saying high school.
I went to high school out of state. I went to the school in New Jersey. So like 4 years, I stayed out there.
Okay, how'd you end up? We've skipped off so much.
Yeah,
How did you end up in Jersey? What?
So I went to Highland Middle School off 610 by the Budweiser, 610 Gellhorn. I guess the Vanguard program. So one day, this organization called ABC, A Better Chance, they come on campus and they deliver like 15 letters to 15 of the students in the Vanguard program. So like me and a bunch of my homies and homegirls got this letter, and it basically said, there's going to be a seminar, have your parents bring you, and we're going to talk to you about this opportunity where you can attend a prep school on the East Coast. You probably get a full ride, but just come see what it's about. So of course I talked to my friends. I'm like, man, what y'all think about this? They're like, hell no, I'm not going to. What? I don't know nobody out of state. What do you mean? Like, our parents gonna come with us? Hell no. So I just hid it in my backpack. I didn't think nothing of it. My older sister Delilah, she was like one of my three moms. You know, I got older sisters and my mom, so she was just all up in my mix. She's like, oh, what's this? And she's like, this sounds interesting. It could be an opportunity. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So we end up going to the seminar where they showing like a slideshow in the auditorium, and they're showing like all these beautiful campuses and telling like minority parents, that's what ABC was about, like a better chance. It's like, we're going to go to inner cities, get minority students, and see if we can include them in this in these prep schools. So they're showing a slideshow, and they telling the parents, like, we know y'all are tightly knit, but it's going to come a time. It's a good opportunity. You're going to have to let your kids go. And I didn't think nothing of it. We just kind of like, all right, seems interesting. So I purposely missed the deadline for the application because I was the youngest in my family. I was like 12, 13 at the time. And I'm like, I'm going to wash my own laundry? Like, what the hell? Don't nobody want to do this? It's like, that sounds scary as hell. So I missed the application deadline on purpose. And then my sister again, in my grill, in my mix, nosy. She like, hey, whatever happened to the thing? Did you fill out the thing? I was like, nah, man. I think I missed it. Yeah, it's too late. She's like, well, let me call them and let me see what they say. She said, hey, I got off the phone with them. They said if you just write the essay, fill out the application, you know, they could shuffle you in, see what's up. So then I started going to Booker T. Washington for like 2 weeks. It was like before school started, I guess, for the engineering program, like get acclimated. And then next thing you know, I'm already going to Booker T for like a week. Like, I'm already getting familiar with the hallways and this and that. And then I think it was a phone call. They're like, hey, he got 2 offers. One, a school in North Carolina, but it's not a full ride. And then the school in New Jersey, over there by Princeton, that one's a full ride. So I was like, Lord have mercy. Long story short, next thing you know, bro, we're on a plane. We're landing in Newark Airport. And we kept hearing people say Newark. My parents are from Mexico, bro. They don't even speak English. So we were all like, are we in New York? And I keep asking people, hey, man, we trying to be in New Jersey. They're like, yeah, you New Jersey? I was like, but what city? They're like, Newark. I was like, it sounds like you saying New York, bro. So then we catch a cab or rent a car, and then we end up in Hightstown, New Jersey at that school. And I think we were there for like a day, and they gave like the parents their little orientation, kind of letting them know, like, y'all gonna have to leave, and your kids gonna be sad and shit. They gonna be here in a dorm by themselves. Next thing you know, bro, I see my family just pull off in that rental car after we said bye. But it all felt like a joke, like a dream. Like, yeah, like I'm being punked right now. Like, y'all really not gonna leave me in New Jersey, 13 years old, by myself. Sure enough, they bounced, and you know, that shit was rough, bro. That's probably why I got a cold heart to this day. You know what I'm talking about? So it was pretty traumatic, I think, you know, but I got used to it.
How long did it take you to adjust to that?
That's a good question, because it got to the point to where once I made friends, like, I had ended up getting in trouble over some stuff, and my mom was like, hey, if you're going to be messing up over there, you might as well mess up in Houston. So you know what? You get ready to pack your shit. And I'm like, nah, I like it now. I got friends from Philadelphia, Miami, Brooklyn. Like, I done found all the kids that like the shit I like all the hip hop and, like, you know, the comedy and everything. We fighting over the TV in the dorm to hurry up and put Martin on before they run and put Seinfeld on. So we're listening to Wu-Tang and shit, like all the stuff that had just came out on the East Coast. We're listening to Hot 97. So we pick up the signal from way over there. So at that point, I'm like, yo, this is live. Like, I'm in the dorm, you know what I mean? I got a roommate. You really bond with these kids because, you know, you go to class, you go to lunch, you know, activities or whatever. Like, they make you do study hall. After that, you kick it and play around and shit, act a fool outside, and then it's lights out. But after that, you bond because you're literally growing up with these people. Like you're literally like living with them. You growing up, and so it's like really, really good friendships. After that, I was like, nah, I like this. And then when it's time to go to college, I was telling my family, I was like, hey, a lot of my friends, they talking about going to school in DC and Philadelphia. Like they talking about different schools up this way. And they're like, nah, you done been away too long. Like just come closer. And so I ended up going to San Antonio for college.
At like Trinity, you were saying. So you at Trinity and you get involved with the college radio.
Yeah, so I started DJing frat parties and stuff. Me and my boy Donnie from Mo City, we were roommates. And I remember coming home from a frat party and telling Donnie, because I had the mixtapes from like they had a sound waves. It might have been like Def Jam Blaster. I can't remember who it was, High C or somebody. But
it was blasting them. The Men on Wax and all that?
More than likely, yeah. But it was like, it had like different real catchy CD covers. You had like bounce music ones.
That was Blaster, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you had those, right? So I had all that shit in my folder. And I'm in San Antonio, like at a super white frat party where they not tripping over the music. They just in the back drinking out the kegs and trying to holler at girls and stuff. So it was like a frat house. So like in the living room area, they probably got like a strobe light going. I run to the car, pull out my little CDs, and I was like, hey, y'all mind if I just put some shit in this boombox? Next thing you know, I got people in there kind of jamming out, dancing and stuff. So I get back to the dorm and I tell my boy Donnie, I was like, yo, man, I damn near practically DJ'd a party. He's like, man, what you talking about, dog? I was like, bro. He's like, you ain't got no equipment. I was like, man. I was like, they lucky I don't know about mixers and all that. He's like, oh, he's like, I know about that. He's like, yeah, I know about the crossfader and what you plug in, how to plug it, and this and that, where the speakers and the amp and all this. And I was like, bro, we could make this a hustle. So me, my boy Sean, and my boy Donnie. Sean from Katy, Donnie from Mo City. And we put together this ragtag, like we had like a Discman, we like bought a used mixer, like we were just broke college students. So we I think our neighbor in the dorm, he had one little preamp thing, like we just pieced it together. And we would pull up in Donnie's Ford Probe, the hatchback wouldn't even close, with the speakers that we bought from one of the departments at school. Like they were getting rid of old equipment. We're like, man, we'll buy them. So we would literally pull up at frat parties and be like, hey man, could we DJ your shit? We'll do it right now. Like 150. They're like, nah. We'd be like 50. They're like, nah, we cool, bro. We good. We just chilling. I was like, come on, man. We just trying to get exposure, man. Like we do this shit for free. And even then, sometimes they'd be like, nah. But before you know it, we started getting a reputation on campus to where like I didn't play sports or nothing, but on Monday morning, it's like I had the winning touchdown, because they'd be like, hey man, nice party, bro. Hey, my name was DJ Biz at the time, B-I-Z. I was a business major.
Man, okay, wait.
DJ B-I-Z.
So how long do y'all work with this makeshift equipment? Like when do you get legit shit? Like,
so,
right, we got some.
Yeah. So my boy Sean from Katy, first I think we went and applied under our credit, like at Hermes Music or something like that, trying to see if we can get some on credit, and we got rejected. But Sean from Katy, they approved him. So next thing you know, we started getting a little bit more legit. Like we even had like this little stand you could put your equipment on, and if you had a banner or something, you could hang it. And we were rocking them parties, dog. Like this part's interesting. Like at first we were trying to please the crowd, and we were trying to guess what they wanted. So we're like, oh, let's play some of this. This is kind of mainstream, or this kind of pop, or put this little techno song, and we just trying to figure them out, and it just wasn't really organic. One day we just like, man, fuck this shit. We just started playing like, man, it's like, man, like just some ratchet ass H-Town stuff. Next thing you know, oh man, they were like, oh, we had no idea that all these college kids, that's really what they wanted. They really wanted some like hood stuff. And but yeah, that was a cool era. That was like laid the.
But do you graduate college? Like what happens?
Yeah, I finished. Yeah, I did all 4 years. I graduated 2001.
You said all 4 years, like people just go to school for 4 years. Everybody go 4 years, man. Like,
yeah,
some just 5. You got people like me who go for a few years, drop out for a couple years, come back, graduate.
Yeah, I was full time. Yeah, I was on campus full time. I had work study. So like I had to go work like 10 hours a week. You get like after like 2 weeks, and after they take taxes, you got $97 or something. And that's when we were like, okay, we got to be all in with this DJing stuff. We start trying to figure out mixtapes, start hitting the flea market. And that's around the time the Chingo Bling persona.
That's what I was going to ask
came
you.
about.
How does Chingo Bling, and does that come with you rapping, or does Chingo Bling develop in the DJ stage?
So Chingo Bling developed during my radio show. So I was on Sunday night, midnight, from like midnight to 2. Yeah, we were on. And we were breaking music, bro. Like at the time, San Antonio had some super lame program directors, man. It was just they weren't trying to break music or nothing. And I really miss home because of that, because at the time, you know, we would go get with major players, you know, GT, who was it? Steve Nice. Steve Nice, one of my favorite DJs of all time. And then Ali Sadiq was working in the office at the time. So I had no idea, but I was dealing with one of the greatest comedian. And you know, we'd pay our dues and we'd get our wax. So in San Antonio, we were breaking records. Like we were playing.
Oh, y'all went to DJ pool, you said?
We were in the DJ pool.
And all of,
Yeah, the DJ pool. So we were breaking records. Like we were in San Antonio Sunday night, midnight, when everybody would cruise Military Drive. So like the whole hood would be out there. It was like Freaknik every Sunday. And that was our whole marketing scheme. Like we would play the local artists that were trying to come up. We tell them, hey man, that's the song right there. That's your single. I was almost like a little A&R. That was like, in my mind, I thought I was gonna be able to like be like DJ Clue or somebody and do some kind of compilation and go through Southwest Wholesale, Robert Gilliman, somebody, and give me a little deal. And I didn't know what I was gonna do, but we took pride in breaking records, and we were playing big independent artists. Like we had Lil Flippin' Studio with Hump. That's where I first started seeing the machine behind artists. Like Hump had his briefcase, you know what I mean? Like, by the way, shout out to Sucker Free Records, because as a young college radio DJ, like I'd pull up at a rec shop, try to see if I could get an interview with Mo. Rest in peace. Try to get some free posters and T-shirts, and I would do retail displays for like Chevis Entertainment, like, you know, Dope Game 2000. I met Killer Calion when he was I don't even know if that was his rap name at the time, but there was a label called like Icebird Entertainment or something, and they had an artist, and Killer was just part of the crew or whatever. I don't know if he was like ghostwriting for people or what, but it was a super cool era because we were literally putting it in the face of the radio stations by saying like, you might hear this in 6 months across the street. So like if the San Antonio radio station was playing like Bombs Over Baghdad or something, we hit them with I'm Sorry, Miss Jackson. Like we already knew what the next single was gonna be because we could just hear the album. We're like, all right, boom, y'all ain't heard this. Remember where you heard it first. It got to the point where the program director from the main station called the campus. Where's the damn radio department? Okay, sir, we're gonna patch you in. Okay, this program director, hey man, them little dudes you got over there Sunday night, they trying to undermine what we trying to do in the market, and they over there stepping on toes, so they need to cut that shit out. Like, that was, dude, I was so proud of that moment. I was like, okay, we got their attention.
So did y'all fall in line with them, or did y'all keep doing what y'all was doing?
Nah, we kept doing what we were doing, and that's around the time that the Chingo Bling persona, like that whole concept even came to mind, because I'd be on there and like it was just a crazy show, like college radio. So we might freestyle, we might have the guest freestyle. Like we had Lil Flip freestyling on there, and then I'm over here trying to battle, but like on some funny shit. And then sometimes I'd be like, man, hold on, y'all, man, my cousin from Mexico here, man, we got Chingo Bling. Hold on, Chingo, man, you late, bro. And then I'd switch my voice and then come over here, hey, ¿qué pasó, cabrón? Hey, San Antonio, what's up, fool? Da, 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 da. Like just some random, goofy, funny shit. And the phone would light up. Hey, man, let me talk to Chingo, man. Or he'd be like, hey, man, I want to, you know, let Chingo Bling rap, dog. Why y'all hating on it, man? Let me rap. And I'm like, nah, man, we got to cut the commercial. Or something stupid. And the phone would ring, hey, y'all got to let Chingo rap. So I would just try to come up with some fly shit just to make the show interesting. So by the time some of those freestyles started to circulate, that's when I knew, like, man, I think I got something, because people would, like, if there was a car show and I was like, I think one time I showed up like as Chingo Bling, like I had a jersey with the name on the back or something, or like the cowboy hat and the boots, and I'd be nervous, like, man, people, they're not gonna know how to take this shit. They're gonna clown me. But people be like, hey man, you the one that rapped that, you the one that said that one thing on that one thing, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, that shit's tight. Or I'd be at the flea market, like as DJ Biz, as myself, and I'd have like compilation mixtapes where I would take like acapella, like a, let's just say, for example, like a SPM acapella, right, at the time, over like a Mary J. Blige beat, or I put, you know, the Ja Rule beat, but I had Big Mo, like I was doing blends and stuff, and I was thinking, okay, this got all the new shit, this got the hot shit, I just got to play this on the boombox, and when they coming down my way, they're going to buy this shit. And this little Chingo Bling compilation, this might pay my cell phone, but it's going to pay my rent. And the youngsters, man, they be like, oh, hey, fool, Chingo Bling, Chingo. I'm like, hey, man, you know him? And they be like, man, hell yeah, man. When's Chingo gonna drop a whole project by himself? Because I would sprinkle Chingo Bling verses on the mixtapes just to sneak them in. And I started getting that feedback, and little by little, I was like, hold on, man, this Chingo stuff gonna pay my rent, and everything else gonna pay my cell phone and car or whatever. And after that, man, it was just off to the races.
Damn. Okay, so now you say, what was the thing that you finally, I mean, because now you're talking about what it might be. What was the thing where you finally said, okay, no, it's Chingo Bling for sure. Like, I'm going to be Chingo Bling, no more DJ Biz, no more DJ, no, like.
Yeah, fuck all that DJ shit. It might have been, I think it was like my first like mixtape. Like when, like I just had like a demo, and like Charles Chavez, who went on to like manage Pitbull and do a whole bunch of big stuff in the radio game. Like he was trying to sign me off the demo, but I was like, bro, I'm barely getting my feet wet. Like I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna approach this dream and pursue this thing. I don't want to just sign to somebody, you know. And then my boy Baby Bash, he had kind of noticed and showed love. Like he was like, hey man, you know what I mean? You know, fuck with me, bro. Like, you know, lock me in type of thing, and I'll see if I got some opportunities for you. And he was putting together this DVD. This was like super early in my career. He was putting together a DVD. So he had a budget to go to like Vegas, all through California, all these markets to kick it with, you know, make a DVD with like artists and DJs and stuff. So he introduced me to a lot of people, like just really put me in the game. And I think like around the time my first mixtape dropped, it was Duro en la Pintura, which means hard in the paint in Spanish. So once that came out, man, it was just buzzing. You know, I took note of how independent labels in Houston, how they operated, how you were able to like do stuff out of a house, how you, like what all departments you kind of had to have. So, you know, my sister, my brother-in-law, like next thing you know, man, we in a van, we in California, I'm doing an in-store in Palm Springs, California. They playing me on this one syndicated show called Pocos Pero Locos, which was syndicated in a bunch of markets. So boom, they start playing a track or two. This is like before MySpace, before YouTube. And it was just like, you know, it was like ghetto stardom after that.
It's a trip, bro, because I just remember all you talking, and I'm just thinking about all these things, and it's just like, man, I remember like 05 hitting. It was like I knew Slim Paul, these guys from the Swisher House, but then it was like there was this guy Chingo Bling who was a big fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, you know, I knew their backgrounds. I had no idea where you came from, bro, but everything was just. It just looked big, you know what I'm saying? Like how you're saying, y'all just had y'all shit together, fool. Like the way y'all ran it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Again, you know, props to my big sister. Props to my manager David at the time. I mean, we just had like a really good little team, to where we would operate out of a house, and it would literally be like my cousin from Mexico, she back here burning CDs. Like my sister on the phone with the store list. Like at the time, that was the thing. Like you gotta have a store list. You gotta have a store list. My dad dropping off like a couple hundred units of sound waves, like off South Main, and then they distribute them to all the stores. you know, we shipping put some on Greyhound to Waco, like all the little stores that, like the same spots that might have had like Trey or Slim or all these different,
right there,
all these different crews. Like we were like, yo, we got to get in that one store in Abilene or, and it was even like, it was stores everywhere though. We weren't just limited to Texas, so it was a beautiful thing.
How was the money at that time? Like, because I mean, you talking about CDs. I mean, everybody knows that was a great time to be an independent artist in the CD era.
Yeah. Oh man, it was great because at the time, it was like a window of opportunity where I tell people all the time, I'll be like, man, rappers at the time, bro, we knew if you're going to be on the shelf, you just got to have a barcode on the back because the RIAA, they go in the stores and they caught up DJ Drama and everybody was kind of shook. So we had bubblegum barcodes on the back of the CD. We were scanning, whatever, and we were just dropping so much. I was really like learning how to rap at the time. Like we were always in the studio. So in this house, one of the bedrooms convert to a studio. So you'd have like my boy DJ Eddie DeVille. He was like in-house engineer. You'd have different artists like Lucky, Luciano, Cole, Stunna, just different people. That boy T. I mean, we had like Mike Jones come through there, like just all kind of people. And that was all the stuff that I learned from watching like, Rec Shop and Swisher House and everybody, Sucker Free Records, and just kind of like the basics of what you needed to get the job done.
Talk about when the major labels came and like that whole like your dealings with that.
That was super stressful because, like I said earlier, I was very hesitant and I wanted to be very careful because I had heard a lot of horror stories already. So you had like my boy Pitbull, he'd be like, hey man, I'm tied up right now in TVT Records. Like I'm locked in, but I got the dude from Sony on the other line. I told him about you. Or, hey bro, P. Diddy want to sign you. He's like, it's Pitbull. It's a funny story. Pitbull told Little John, hey man, if P. Diddy asks about this Chingo Bling dude, just say you want to sign him because I already told P. Diddy, if you don't sign him, Lil Jon is, type of thing. So next thing you know, bro, first shout out to Pitbull, man, super 100 to this day. So next thing you know, P. Diddy's in Houston doing a all-white party, and he had what was it, Boys in the Hood? Was that the group? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the name of the group with Jeezy and them. So he had Boys in the Hood in there. And he's like, Chingo, come to Hotel Derek, you riding with us. And he's getting ready, and he's got like 4 assistants and HPD in the hallway and all this shit. And it's me and my boys, and we're like, bro, we really sitting here kicking it with fucking P. Diddy, bro. Like, I just finished telling you, I grew up on the East Coast when like, or not grew up, but like I did 4 years where
you saw Bad Boy.
Yeah, I saw like this, the street team trying to, I saw Kanye as the producer, Kanye. But anyway, I'm like, we're sitting here kicking with P. Diddy, and he's getting ready. He's like, yeah, you're going to see how Bad Boy parties. This ain't no Lil Jon party.
And so you knew,
and I had to think. I was like, what is he, why? What? I was like, oh, fucking Pitbull, bro. Pitbull told his motherfucker Lil Jon. And Lil Jon's so cool. He's like, all right, I'll say yeah if he asks me. And but I had to turn it down because it was certain stuff that I wanted. I wanted creative control. I've seen that play an important role in so many artists' careers. I saw an interview with Hurricane Chris where he said he wanted to name his album 5150, and they were like, he saw the final pressing, is like, nah, 5150 Ratchet. And he's like, all right, okay, that's not what all right, whatever. So creative control was a big deal. Owning my masters, that's always been a major lesson. Like Houston, our independent scene, bro. Like I remember when I was doing promo runs in New York with like K Slay, like going to the radio, Hot 97 with K Slay, or you dealing with different people. You rubbing shoulders with Nori, like Nori, and they all just tripping out on, because I had did a song with Nori when he was in his reggaeton era, but they would just trip out on us like, man, these Houston motherfuckers, man, these Houston motherfuckers. And K-Slay literally got on the radio. He's like, he'd be like, man, don't get it twisted with Chingo Bling, and he one of them H-Town boys. He's like, man, they got houses and cars out there, man, they ain't tripping, you know. And I was just so proud that we had that reputation. So it was a stressful era because people you respect and you love, like Tony Draper's like, bro, I got you a deal at Capitol, bro. Why you don't want this? It's $400,000 right now at Capitol Records. Like, we in LA with Tony Draper, and I'm just like, bro, I love Suave House. I love you, man. I love everything, bro.
But that's not the situation.
But yeah, man, that's an artist deal. Or like one time, man, this sound like a bunch of fucking name dropping, so I apologize. Sound like I'm over here flexing. But one time, Pitt, who's very generous, he invited me to do the red carpet in Miami for MTV. So he's like, man, you gonna be with us. It was like in August, super humid in Miami. And we're all like in a Suburban, like in suits and stuff, because Pitt was like, man, come on, dog, you gotta put on a suit. I'm like, damn. That's when he first started rocking suits. And I got my cowboy hat and this suit.
You still was Chingo Bling, though.
Yeah, I still had the cowboy hat and everything. But I'm like, we in the Suburban. I'm just like, damn, it's so humid out here. And man, what's his name? Is it Mike Diesel, the producer? Mm-hmm. I think he did Knocking Doors Down. Mm-hmm. So he calls, hey man, I got Master P with me right here. He looking for artists. And I'm like, Master P, what the fuck? He's like, hey man, what it do? Hey, what's going on, man? Where you at? I'm like, shit, we over here in Miami about to walk this red carpet. He's like, okay, it sounds like you got too much shit going on, man. I'm looking for somebody that's more up and coming. And I'm just like, nah, man, it ain't me. I'm like, no, hey,
I'm just a homie.
I'm like, Percy, P, you know what I mean? Let me see. He say, and I'm like, no, man, I'm the +1, bro. Like, this Pitt situation, bro. He the one that got a deal right now. But it was stressful. And shout out to Charlie Braxton from Mississippi.
Charlie Braxton,
yeah. Oh my God, bro. Charlie Braxton is an angel because he gave me a crash course on record business contracts and shenanigans and malarkey and filth. Like he told me this all the ways they could screw you, bro. And he gave me such a crash course. Like, we'd hop on the phone for a couple hours. He'd be like, all right, Chingo, listen, this part right here is very important. Check this out. But P. Diddy said he willing to share creative control. This is what they mean when they say share. It's going to be 51% to him and Bad Boy, 49% to you. If there's ever a disagreement,
the majority wins.
It's going his way. So if you got to wear a certain thing, whatever single is going to be, whatever producer, whatever sample, all these decisions, it's not really going to be your way. And I'm thinking like, well, the whole point of me getting in this game is to not have a boss, to not have a job. And it just started sounding like work. And, you know, so like, for example, when Asylum Records, they were the ones that were talking the most close to checking all the boxes. Like, I still didn't really want to do it, but they're like, bro, you can have your masters. And I'm like, damn, didn't nobody else want to do this? Like, so I could walk away. When we part ways, I'm gonna take all that shit with me. Yeah, all right, bet. And there was one thing though, it's called a courtesy clause. Like, back in the day when they had CD jewel cases and you could read the fucking art and shit, it would say like, Little John appears courtesy of TVT Records. I never really knew what that meant, but Charlie Braxton broke it down to me. He's like, bro, right now, Little John is in a dispute with TVT Records. They owe him millions of dollars, but they trying to tell him, we'll give you an advance on your next album. You just got to turn it in. That's how they were playing. That's how Jai was trying to play UGK. You just got to turn it in. We'll give you another advance. You have you some money. And by the way, here's a Bentley. Too, while you at it. Here go Bentley. Thank you so much. Want to keep you happy. And it's like, but bro, I'm mad about the shit you owe me from the first. I know, but turn in your second, we'll give you an advance. So you advancing me some money on the second. So I'm supposed to turn in a whole new project. All right. So Lil Jon was like, all right, well, I'm still hot. I'm gonna go produce for people and do features, and I'm straight. I stay relevant and I make my money, my publishing. They're like, all right, cool. Let me know how that works out for you. They weren't approving shit. They weren't signing off. So they they were playing this chess game where because of the courtesy clause. So when I was like down to the wire, are you gonna sign with us or not? You gonna sign with us or not? Because I had already told everybody no. Like I was like playing, not like playing hard to get, but I was like, bro, I mean, we're really happy with how we doing it, and there really ain't no reason, unless you for sure gonna flip a switch and all of a sudden I'm on the radio everywhere, then maybe. That didn't happen either. So, cause I went up in there thinking like, all right, I want a gangster grills with drama. They just like, bro, it don't work like that. When do I get my gangster grills? So anyway, I said, hey man, y'all got to take out this courtesy clause. So that was like the last thing. And once they were like, all right, bet, what else? You know what I mean? After that, I was like, well, fuck, man, there ain't really nothing else.
At that point,
it's like, damn, man, it was like on paper, a beautiful, perfect contract in my favor. It was like some masterpiece shit. It was like 70-30. I don't remember my percentages, but it was like 70% to me. It was a pressing and distribution, P&D. They just get a distribution fee. But they still the distributor, so the money goes there first. It's still up under Warner. The money goes there first, and you over here kind of waiting on your 70%. How the fuck I'm waiting on my 70%? But it's a lesson learned.
Man, okay. So, how do you feel about music today, considering that experience within that whole time?
Oh man, I'm actually like falling in love with rapping and music all over again. I've been getting in the studio more often. I got a little setup in my house, so when inspiration hits or if there's any little downtime, if I gotta record some drops or any little thing, it's there. So I'm really getting back into it. So, but at the same time, I like it for fun. I like to release singles from time to time just to feed the catalog, because that catalog is what still produces every month. So I'm just very blessed for like I put in my work. You know what I mean? We were young. We were in them clubs. We was running around being young and stupid and sacrificing our liver and lungs and everything else. And in the studio. So now it's just like a blessing that, people still. And every once in a while when we drop some old shit, man, remember this freestyle, remember this verse, remember this off of this mixtape? And you just see the fans like, bro, this shit taking me back, man, 9th grade or whatever. Like, man, we was in high school bumping this. So it's rewarding.
Yeah. Talk about, we're going to get into comedy because we did the DJing, rapping. I tell people all the time, like, because I can't rap, but DJing, there's a couple of things I've done. As far as comedy, to stand on the stage and do stand-up comedy is the hardest thing that you can do, I think, within this, because it's just you. It's no music. You stand up there and everybody is
no hype man
to you. Every sound that comes out of your mouth, everything is all that. But it's also the most rewarding too. Like it's a high you can't describe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. It was hard at first. Like when you just have to bomb, when you having to cut your teeth. Like the hardest thing is when you already known, but you knew at this thing. So now you up there sucking. And it's like, man, this Chingo Bling, bro. We thought you was cool.
What made you finally say, you know what, I'm gonna just get on stage. Fuck it.
I do. Here's a funny story. I would try to do it on a sneak tip. You know what I'm saying? Like there was this one local comedian that was kind of like trying to show me the ropes and stuff, and like give me some game in terms of like where the open mics at, and so like how do y'all do it? How do y'all practice? You know? And homeboy was like, I was like in the screen print shop looking over. I was just whatever raggedy Vans and had stains on my shit. He's like, hey man, pull up, man. They over here at Fat Boys. Ali Sadiq got a room. GT is here, and after that you can hit this other spot, these other spots, whatever. So I'm like, all right, if I really want to do this and really just switch lanes and try it, fuck it, I just got to go see what it is. So I went up to GT. I was like, what's up, bro? He's like, oh shit, what's up, Chingo? How you been? And he's like, man, you trying to get up here tonight? I was like, yeah, man, fuck it, put me on the list. And I was like, hey, but don't say Chingo Bling, or just say like Pete or something. And he's like, all right, cool. Next thing you know, Ali is on the mic. And this is a rough crowd. There's like Showtime at the Apollo. And Ali gets on the mic. All right, y'all know him from something else, you know what I'm saying? Y'all might know him from the rapping thing, but you know, he up here trying to do comedy tonight. Give it up for Chingo Bling. I'm like, fuck. Bro, I'm up there like dingy pants, raggedy Vans, stains on my shirt, like silk screen shit. And there's no confidence, no attitude, no energy, no material. No jokes really, and I'm just like, hey, you hear the mic, hey, yeah, man. So I ain't, yeah, y'all probably wondering why I got these raggedy Vans, but and it's just like everyone's just sitting there like, yeah, man, pass the ketchup, hey, man, chicken wings and shit. It's like a sports bar. There's TVs and ain't nobody, and it's like Ali's crowd. They just waiting for Ali to get back up there. And it was a disaster. I bit the bullet. I hopped off stage. Here go the mic, man. Get me out this damn shit. And so it's traumatizing when you don't have the skill set, when you don't have the know-how, when you don't have the material, you don't have the jokes. And even then, even when you do have all that, sometimes you get put in different scenarios where it's like, okay, how you gonna deal with this? And every once in a while, I put myself in those situations because I get spoiled, man. I get spoiled like you at one of these improvs, or you at one of these like Sacramento Punchline, or you at Zany's Comedy Club in Chicago. It's a green room. You comfortable, you backstage. The crowd is there to see you. The opening acts, they killing. Everything's teed up perfectly for you. So you get spoiled. It's like, this is too easy, bro. Like, I'm murdering in DC right now. This is too easy. They think I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm killing it so hard. So every once in a while, like, I'll put myself in these situations where I'm like in the Rio Grande Valley, out there by McAllen. It's outdoors. The sun is still out.
You gotta earn your laughs.
Yeah. The sun's still out. They playing a boxing fight behind you on a big screen. And you just up there fighting, bro. Fighting for your life. But it's a beautiful art form, man.
And you said you were 8 years in right now?
I think if I'm not mistaken, man, I'm about 8 years.
Damn.
So I've been on stage a lot, and I've gone through a lot of material where, you know, let's say you're performing in Dallas and you just headline, you just did a whole hour. Well, if you back the next year, they want a whole new hour. At least 45 minutes mixed in with 15, some repeat, some remix. A little bit stepped on jokes.
What's been the hardest thing to get into? Was it learning rap or like learning comedy?
Ooh, they're so different. They're so different, man. It's just with both of them, like it has to be in you. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to like. Learn and try different shit and try again, and some of them verses, or some of them songs like, maybe we should have put that one out, but hey, we got to keep these mixtapes coming or whatever. So it's kind of different, but one thing they do have in common is it's gotta be true. You gotta believe it. It's gotta come from a place where like you could really sell. You really selling that lyric, or you selling that joke? Like you can stand behind it in order to deliver it properly.
Hell yeah. Top 5 comedians of all time.
That's a good one. Let's go ahead and put Eddie Murphy in there. Let's put Cat Williams in there. This is a hard one, man, because it's like of all time. I like Cedric. Cedric probably got to be in there just because like he's just so fucking smooth with the shit. You might as well put Earthquake in there too. That's what, 4? It's so many. It's a lot of new people too, man. And then we got, I'm not gonna throw me in the fire, bro. I can't do that. Let me see. We just need one more. It's so many, bro. You probably throw Chappelle in there. Yeah.
That's what's up. How do you feel about like Hispanics in hip hop? Do you think that you guys have finally got to a point to where it's like respected? Because for a long time it was like maybe one here, maybe one there, but now That's the thing.
Yeah, now it's the internet, man. So like, I think before the complaints were like, oh man, you know, sometimes man, some rappers just be crying, bro. Some rappers just be crying like, ah man, why they ain't got us? Because a lot of times people don't understand the business. They don't understand the business side. However, I would like to see, like if I'm in like San Antonio, Texas, San Jose, Phoenix, like these markets where it's like, bro, it's like 50% Hispanic in this city, and you got really talented artists out there like Snow the Product, Cap G, King Lil G. There's so many to where like, come on, you telling me you can't play no Snow the Product in San Jose, like kind of like pretty much where she's from. You know what I mean? Like you can't play no, like there's just so many cats. Like you telling me you can't play no Cap G in San Antonio. So unfortunately, bro, you got a lot of, I'ma just say, whole ass program directors that they just, it's unfortunate because when you love hip hop, when you love music, when you love like the culture so much, and just from the standpoint, like me coming at it from like a DJ standpoint, a fan standpoint, like almost like an A&R, because that was like my little, like when my college DJ shit, it was like I was like a little hood A&R. Like I know how to spot talent. That's why I jammed this podcast. And I'm talking about. So it gets a little frustrating. So a lot of that frustration really is like, what's the word, like well-founded or whatever. Like there's definitely some arguments there where it's like come on, man, y'all can't, like Cap G got a new song, man. Like Dallas, y'all can't get behind this shit a little bit more, you know. So sometimes I get a little frustrated just from a fan standpoint because I know the demographics. Unfortunately, when it just comes to radio as one of the categories or markers of success, unfortunately, it's so political that the average consumer assumes that, oh, the radio station, the program directors, the DJs have freedom to play with it. No, they don't. They used to. Like when I used to jam 97.9 Thunderstorm, or I'd go get my cassette, like shit, Steve Nice mixing right now. I'd get my cassette and you making your own mixtape at the house because they were breaking records. They were taking chances, like they had freedom. And then everything got so centralized where you got this regional program director, some person in some office somewhere that don't know nothing about some of these cities. Like I used to enjoy when we would take road trips. I used to enjoy like, okay, we driving through New Orleans. Make sure, like, wake me up. Like, make sure
what they got going on. Yeah.
What y'all got going on out here? If you in Florida, okay, turn on the radio. We in Jacksonville. Where are we? South Florida. Turn the shit on. You passing through St. Louis. Man, I want to see who else coming up in the loop. Turn the shit on. What's the station? Flip through it. Don't miss nothing. Now, it's just a bunch of Atlanta. Everything is Atlanta records. Pretty much. I mean, I don't know if I'm generalizing because I don't really tune in like that.
Nah, what's happened is there isn't, I mean, you can't do that no more. Houston radio sounds like Atlanta radio, like New York radio, like West Coast radio. Well, West Coast, I think they do a good job of still dabbling.
Like breaking some shit from time to time.
But like, no, Atlanta, Houston, New York, I mean, hip-hop in general has kind of gravitated to that. Like, the universal sound is like the Atlanta sound. You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah, that's a big factor. But at the same time, man, I guess I just come from that era where you had, you know, Rec Shop. You know, you had like your little Flips and, you know, Botany Boys. It was just all.
And these are things that we hold near and dear to us. Like, yeah.
But, you know, but at the same time, man, it's cool to be underground, you know. So I've always had that chip on my shoulder, too, where, like, I don't want to be too known. It's one of those things where it's like, if you know, you know. You know.
Well, hey, man. We definitely know about Chingo Bling in this H-Town, man.
We
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
this Texas, man. I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yeah, thank you, man.
For real. We definitely have you come through again, you know what I'm saying? We link up, do some other shit, music, whatever, bro.
Yeah, so hopefully, man, you pull up at my show, House of Blues, June 16th. I will be there. And hopefully have you on my podcast as well.
Definitely. Whatever, man.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you. Hey, Chingo Bling, Tamale. What tamales?
Tamale Kingpin, yeah.
No more tamales. What?
Yeah, we might bust them out, man. Like, you know, I love business. You know, Bun got the Trill Burgers. You know, I know a lot of people in the business world, so we might mess around and do a little pop up or some kind of collab, or maybe you see him in the HEB frozen section at least.
That'd be live.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, hey, man, Chingo Bling's Donnie Houston podcast. We're up out of here. I'm over here.
Thank you.
Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston podcast, man.